Hey, yo, I want to talk about books and some ideas I had that I think would make for good Magic the Gathering tie-in stories that Wizards of the Coast should publish, at least in paperback. What you're watching now is a companion to this video of mine where I talked about Magic's existing tie-ins, apart from the comic books which I completely forgot existed, and I looked at how other companies, like Games Workshop, handle tie-ins to their narrative and lore in the form of things like the Black Library. And I ask, why can't Magic the Gathering have something like that too? I think they can, and to prove it, here's my 6 completely normal Magic the Gathering book ideas that won't make you worry for me at all. To be honest, I do believe Magic's lore is interesting and flexible enough to maintain a library of books, not just blog post articles, but actual full novels with the potential for new releases frequently hitting the bestseller charts. But as I started to write a video where I'd list serious pitches for potential hardbacks, I got bored. I mean, what am I going to say? How about a Sherlock Holmes-inspired series of murder mysteries following those now canonical detectives on Ravnica solving big city interdimensional wizard crimes? Well, Christ, now I say it out loud actually, that sounds like an amazing idea, but any which way, I've decided to go in a slightly different direction with it. And just in case you're disappointed that this list is all going to be insane nonsense, I've decided to start off by doing at least one normal one. That way, hopefully everybody's happy and no one can accuse me of wasting this video's idea. So let's begin with singular honourable mention. Right, so for this pitch we need a random no-name character, preferably human, and a blank slate so our audience can picture themselves in their place as the hero. This guy will do, sure, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, I like to name my characters like they're pirates from One Piece, so we're going to call this guy Cacophony Dream. And Dream here is going on a big adventure, which is all thanks to the now established Omen paths which link the different planes of the multiverse. Dream's just a random background character, not a mighty hero, and as close to an everyman as you're going to get from someone on a Magic card. So, how is he going to handle the situation when he finds himself stranded on the miniaturized plane of Segovia, where in comparison to everything else, Dream seems humongous and what he thinks is a puddle turns out to be an ocean with teeny tiny leviathans. Even all-powerful angels here are only equivalent to 1/1s like insects. Next, how will Dream's fortunes fare in Surtland, one of Kaldheim's 10 realms where the tables are turned, as this is a land of giants making Dream face a reality where he's the tiny one. Then on to Zendikar, where Dream discovers an entire populace who call a floating rock their home. Next, Kaladesh to see some amazing science. Innistrad to meet some ghosts. Theros to discover immortal demigods. Kamigawa to shake hands with the Emperor. And Bloomburrow to chat with some talking animals. And if you haven't twigged by now, yes, this is basically just Gulliver's Travels with a Magic the Gathering coat of paint. But that's fine, I actually think it would be really interesting to explore these planes from an outsider's perspective who isn't an all-powerful planeswalker. What are these places like for the normal folk that live there? And a story like that would give people a chance to read a version of Gulliver's Travels that isn't so incomprehensibly dense with 1700s political satire. You ever try to read this book? I have. The concept is great, but the words are gibberish. Maybe we mix it up a bit and Dream is accompanied by their sibling, mentor, best friend or love interest, Uptown Mac 5, in the hopes of finding and rescuing a missing sibling, mentor, best friend or love interest in the forms of Trinidad's Starfall Balloon. Will Dream and Big Mac succeed? Or will Balloon be lost amidst the blind eternities? I have no idea, but I'd certainly be interested to read it and find out. If only WotC would print it. And this was the serious pitch. Now let's see the rest of them. Number 6. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice tells the tale of Mr. Bennet's 5 daughters, one of which must marry before the death of their father, or each will suffer the consequence of poverty as the family wealth will become lost to them all. It is one of the most beloved books in all of literature and one of the best known books of all time. Even if you haven't read it, I bet you've heard of it. Seth Grahame-Smith's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is a parody novel which took Austen's original classic, removed nothing, but edited in additional text containing elements of modern zombie horror. According to this hard-to-find article on thedailybeast.com, Grahame-Smith said, "You have this fiercely independent heroine, you have this dashing heroic gentleman, you have a militia camped out for seemingly no reason whatsoever nearby, and people are always walking here and there and taking carriage rides here and there. It was just ripe for gore and senseless violence from my perspective anyway." And I agree, so here's my pitch. If he can edit zombies into Pride and Prejudice, I think we should take his book and edit the Pride and Prejudice out. That's right, my first pitch for a book is just called And Zombies, featuring exclusively the elements added into Austen's original text by Grahame-Smith and not a single word more. How is this Magic the Gathering related? We'll put this dude on the cover and let the implication do the rest of the work. Easy. Number 5. You know who I think would enjoy a white Christmas? Elish Norn. Think about it. She seems to love erecting monuments draped in the colours, and that's not to mention the makeover she'll give her followers. So when I think of books that would feel right at home in the world of Magic the Gathering, I think of a book of Christmas carols translated into Phyrexian. O marauding knight, little forge hammer boy, Nimdong merrily on high, hark the shattered angels sing. I mean, she's got a crawling chorus for a reason, do you know what I'm saying? So my next pitch is Dreaming of a Porcelain Christmas, Carols with Elish Norn. And for those that don't speak Phyrexian, a free handsaw is included with each copy sold. Number 4. The first thing you should know is that I'm a tree. I don't mean that in a glib way. I'm not using the word as an analogy for working a desk job or toiling away in new media. Many of my friends will tell you how temping for a year or ending up in sales is equivalent to being a tree. It's not. I know this because I've been a temp, and You know what? I can't continue to read this next one on YouTube. Suffice to say, this next pitch is a tell-all diary featuring the day-to-day life of a dryad living in Lorwyn and how they became a tree. Titled, Renan 6, The Intimate Adventures of a Lorwyn Gruul Girl. Maybe it could start out as some blogs and then be adapted for TV. I wonder if Billie Piper would be interested in the role. Number 3. Number 3 is my Patreon, where you can support me to make more videos like this. I have many tiers with many rewards, including early access to audio-only versions of these episodes that you can listen to as a podcast, weekly opinion polls where we discuss interesting aspects of the game, and a monthly behind-the-scenes blog keeping you updated on what's going on with the channel. Most reward tiers include the option to have your name credited on screen at the end of my videos too. So if you'd like to support me, if you'd like to join my community, and if these videos have been of some value to you, then come check out my Patreon, link in the description below. Wait, that wasn't a book. Oh, goddamn. Right, let's do that again. Number 3 again. Strixhaven, a magical school of witchcraft and wizardry, which I have often speculated felt a bit too close to Hogwarts for it to just be an homage. I mean, look at the stadium. Come on, I don't care they're on foot, that's for Quidditch. Zephyr boots, themed around the sport. Equipped creature has flying. It's a universes within Broom. And I don't think they were just trying to capture the storytelling conceit of a magical school. A, because there's not really many examples of it done exactly like this. And B, sports aren't necessarily inherent to that genre for the examples that do exist. You don't see the X-Men play in a made-up sport, for instance. No, I think some of these cards are so one-to-one with its schoolhouses and owl-themed acceptance letters that I would be shocked if a Harry Potter crossover wasn't the initial plan. I very well believe if it weren't for J.K. Rowling's rancid views and potential backlash, we'd have gotten at the very least a Harry Potter secret lair with reskins of Strixhaven cards. I wouldn't have particularly cared, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I know plenty of people that are, or at least were. This franchise was a cornerstone of my generation's childhood, and I have witnessed plenty of examples of people expressing disappointment as they feel they can't engage with a series they loved anymore without intrinsically supporting Rowling. So here's my pitch. Theft. We republish Harry Potter word for word, but to make it transformative and legally distinct so we don't have to pay royalties, I suggest we change Hogwarts to Strixhaven, Brooms to Zephyr Boots, and Ron to Ephemeron. Here's an example passage. And then a silver hare, a boar, and a fox soared past Harry, Ephemeron, and Hermione's heads. The Dementors fell back before the creature's approach. 3 more people had arrived out of the darkness to stand beside them, their wands outstretched, continuing to cast their Patronuses, Luna, Ernie, and Seamus. That's right, said Luna encouragingly, as if they were back in the room of requirements and this was simply spell practice for the DA. That's right, Harry. Come on, think of something happy. Something happy? He said, his voice cracked. We're still here, she whispered. We're still fighting. Come on now. There was a silver spark, then a wavering light, and then, with the greatest effort it had ever cost him, the stag burst from the end of Harry's wand. It cantered forward, and now with the Dementors scattered in earnest, and immediately the night was mild again, but the sounds of the surrounding battles were loud in his ears. Quack, wah, 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 said Ephemeron. Number 2. On the 12th of June 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were murdered outside Nicole's Brentwood residence in Los Angeles. There's not much evidence tying the merfolk planeswalker from Zendikar, street names including Behemoth Beckoner and the Crashing Wave, to the scene of the crime, and she's not been formally charged, but if she had done it, this book would describe how. If I Did It, Confessions of Kiora. Number 1. Jake, Cassie, Marco, Rachel, and their unfortunate friend Tobias have their lives changed one evening when they take a shortcut home through the old abandoned construction site. There they discover a crash-landed and dying Andalite prince who warns them that Earth has been invaded and the human race enslaved and replaced by a mind-controlling parasitic alien race known as the Yeerks. They crawl in through the ear and take control of the brain, trapping that person as a prisoner in their own mind, all the while forcing them to watch on as the Yeerk in their brain uses their voice, their memories, and their body like a puppet to trick the people they love most into becoming new hosts for more Yeerks. Before the group had even had time to process this information, the leader of the Yeerk invasion forces, Visser III, arrives in a stolen Andalite body of his own, and demonstrates his strength by transforming into a wicked beast and grisly eating the kindly prince while the teens look on in horror. But all is not lost, as Andalite Prince Elfangor Serenial Shamtul spent the last few precious moments of his life gifting the kids the greatest technology known to his people, the ability to morph into any animal they can touch. Now, Jake, Cassie, Marco, Rachel and Tobias must endure the horror of war, in addition to the body horror of seeing their flesh stripped from their bones as they turn into insects, birds, lions and snakes in an effort to begin a resistance movement for Earth, uncover those that have already been replaced, fighting back against the invading Yeerks, and maintain the appearance of a normal life for fear that revealing themselves would mean the next people to be replaced would be the ones that they love. They can trust no one but each other, because behind the eyes of every smiling face may be a Yeerk pulling the strings. No rest, no safety, no peace until the job is done. This is the life of the Animorphs. No changes needed for this one. Magic is a multiverse, so if cowboys can be at home here, I don't see why we can't just take Animorphs wholesale, because it's sick, and say it's on its own plane in the multiverse too. The Elemist is already basically a pre-mending planeswalker anyway, so I think it works. And that's my list. What did you guys think? Which one was your favourite, and what Magic the Gathering tie-in book would you want to see? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for part 3 of this 2-part special where I'll pitch some ideas for Magic the Gathering TV shows or maybe video games. I don't know yet, whatever. I don't like Universes Beyond, but I'm not too proud to admit that writing this list made me realise that Animorphs would get me. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you to everyone that supports me, like Eggboy, the particle that permeates all existence, and the rest of my patrons whose names are on screen now. I'd also like to thank the sponsor for this video, me and my Patreon page, where you can get your name credited on screen too. Check it out in the link in the description below. Hit the like button, leave a comment, install an adblock, and most importantly subscribe and share this video with a friend. Hit the notification bell and do all those things the algorithm loves. If you agree or disagree with any of my points, or you want to see me do a video on another subject, let me know, and I will see you next time. Or will Balloon be lost amidst the blind eternities? Or will Balloon be lost amidst... Or will Balloon be lost amidst... Or will Balloon be lost amidst the... Amidst... Or will Balloon be lost amidst the... Or will Balloon be lost amidst the blind eternities? Oh, so close. Or will Balloon be lost amidst... amidst... Or will Balloon be lost... Or will Balloon... Fuck. Or will Balloon be lost amidst... Or will Balloon be lost amidst... Stop saying amidst. Amidst. Or will Balloon be lost amidst the blind eternities? Or will Balloon be lost... Or will Balloon be lost amidst the blind eternities? There we go.